Hey everyone, it's another edition of Interlude Sector Presents Talk on Tuesdays. Man, oh man, it's been a very, very busy day here in the Shy. And of course, we are excited, myself and Coach Tony. My goodness, we had a great show on yesterday with Coach Bobby Jackson. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful, wonderful interview on the Pull Up Podcast show. I want to thank, I see Mr. Springer is in the building. Thank you so very much for holding things down. Having a little technical difficulties, but of course, the show must go on. And of course, we're going to be wrapping up and doing our what? Our National Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. Some of the entertainers that have brought us joy throughout the years. And of course, I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and I'm excited to bring it right to you. So here we go, guys. Here we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's Interlude Sector Presents Talk on Tuesdays. Man, oh man, thank you guys for being here. And of course, just having a good old time here. Having a great time. That's what I'm talking about. Myself and Coach Tony, we're happy. We're here to welcome you to another edition. And of course, one of our main affiliate sponsors is Key Spot. Connect, share, and grow. This coming Thursday, they have a small business meetup at 6 p.m. Eastern, and they'd love to see you there. And of course, we'll go ahead and do what we do, which is really, really exciting. Oh my goodness. And then of course, coming up, a DJ saved my life. Please do me a major favor and go ahead and check out this book. We want to thank everyone that has purchased the book, A DJ Saved My Life, the ebook. And of course, some of you all are waiting for what? The printed version of A DJ Saved My Life. So that's really exciting. That is coming. But right now, thank you guys so much for going ahead and supporting this. It's at purelighthousemedia.net. And do you know that there's merch? There is merch now available, Coach. I have the t-shirt and the mugs that's on the same website. So that's exciting. Woo!
I like that. I like that.
I love that too, because it took me a minute to figure it out. It took me a long minute to figure it out, but it's all good. And of course, Interludes Extra presents Find Your Voice. Join our community on patreon.com/interludes. And if you would like to learn what we do here as a podcast, a visual podcast, we can definitely teach you that. Well, that's myself. That's me being the trainer and definitely doing that. And of course, thank you so much for putting that in the chat for me, Mr. Springer, about getting a copy of DJ Save My Life. But of course, Coach Tony,
man,
I'll ask you first, man. How was your weekend?
Weekend was wonderful, Val. I wasn't expecting this cold snap of weather to come through so quickly, though, you know?
I wasn't either. It snapped here. It got very, very interesting. It did. We had hail and we had rain and sun all in the same day within 1 to 2 hours. It was very weird.
Hey, like I say, welcome to Chicago. You don't like what's going on now, just hang around for a while.
Well, I will say I felt like the bottom fell out right around Sunday, because guess what happened on this past Sunday, Coach?
Yeah, the Chicago Marathon. I like that.
Ooh, I know. And so excited that I got a chance to cheer on a good friend of mine who flew in from New York to do this. She's a marathon runner. That's just the thing. Oh my gosh. And I see Mr. Springer. He says, "Hey Val and Coach Tony, appreciate that. It was close to or over 50,000 runners this
Oh, wow.
past Sunday,
Yeah,
all
that's
distances
huge.
upon Chicago to do this race. They came from all over the world, all over the
That probably
world,
was the
but
last weekend for good weather because I think the weather Sunday was perfect for that.
it was. And then right around 3 or 4 o'clock is when things started to take a
Take a dip.
dive.
Yeah.
It started to take it. I'm like, oh my gosh, right on time. But that's my friend Judy Cummings out of Queens, New York. Judy. We used to be in the choir together. So I'm like real excited about that. But she did her 26.3 miles. There was some things happening, but she said she pushed through, and I said, you got your medal, you ran your race, and then on top of that, you went ahead and we went and got some dinner at the Silver Spoon Thai restaurant. Got me some
Okay.
good green curry. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do. That's how we do,
Yeah. I
boo.
see. I see. I see.
Yeah, so I'm really grateful that she was able to, get here. She's back in New York now, but she does that. She does her thing. I see that I believe Kevin, if I'm looking at this correctly, let me look at, didn't he send this to us both that he graduated?
Yes. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Congratulations. He had to make a big move across that this weekend. I think if I'm not if served correct, I think he went down to Texas.
Yes, I know. So, congratulations to our very own Mr. Springer. Graduated in Dallas over the weekend. He earned a master's degree in organized industrial organizational psychiatry, psychology. That's it, psychology from the University of Phoenix. Oh my God.
Okay. All right. All right. You got to break down and tell us how that's going to work out, Kev.
I know, a master's, man. Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. And it's ironic. I did it 10 years ago and got my master's from NYU, and around the same thing. And then this is Kevin. Yep, I was in Dallas. Of course, of course. If I could get the picture from my computer. Yeah, when did he send this? He sent this. Oh, he just sent it. So there was no way I was going to get it up before 8 o'clock. That's fine. It's all good. But congratulations, because we be matriculating in this. We be matriculating in
Right.
this space. That's what we be doing.
Exactly what we be doing.
Oh my goodness. So tonight it's ironically, Coach Tony, the very last day of National Hispanic Heritage Month, or in some places,
Uh,
National Hispanic and Latino Heritage
Latino.
Month.
Yes, senorita. Yes. CC.
Yes,
I'm telling
yes.
you, it's been very nice. It's so cool. And especially I miss this is one part I can definitely say that I miss being at home. I was explaining to
Mhm.
somebody about our 8 weeks of summer, how Chicago celebrates pretty much, throughout the summer and into the fall. And I miss the celebrations of the different ethnic groups and just, partying through the city. And this is definitely one of Hispanics is a very large population in the city of Chicago, and they do it right.
Of course they do. A little background. The National Hispanic Heritage Month is from September 15th through October 15th. Today is October 15th. Happy birthday, Chris Collier. I
Happy
want to make sure I say
birthday.
that. Happy birthday to you. Hispanic Heritage Month was once a week long celebration. In 1988, it was expanded to a month. And I think it begins on the 15th because certain countries got their independence around that time. And
Right.
also, Hispanic Heritage Month represents the culture and interests of both Hispanic and Latino people. It's both, so it's you can't just cut it off with here or whatever. But
Right.
what's been fun is to just get the education about um, the Latino community, and definitely just kind of that what people contribute to it.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
odd. And it's so weird, Val, too, because you're right about when you mentioned that statement about other countries. Because a buddy of mine that I met years ago in Vegas, years ago. We're still good friends, and he was sent me a picture of his plate that they just celebrated
Mhm.
Thanksgiving in Canada. I'm like, what, Thanksgiving? So I'm like, wow. So it's amazing. But it's, this is definitely. Can you imagine if we got a chance to push African American, festival to a month or Christmas to a month? Some people are losing some jobs around here.
Right, exactly. So I totally get that. I totally get that. But yeah, it happens for about a month. It starts in the middle of the month of September and it ends in the middle of the month of October. But we wanted to kind of celebrate some of the artists that we know that are of Hispanic or of Latin descent,
Latina.
and of Latina. Well, that's a woman, Latina descent, and of course, I thought we should start with music and then end with music. But I'm gonna go right to Carlos Santana.
Song,
We're gonna.
love it. Maria, Maria.
Oh, you're singing
We
it.
talk
Oh my
about the
gosh,
West
there
Side
you go.
Story. Man, that's my man's in them. Carlo, that's my man's in them.
So, what do you know about Carlos Santana? What do you know about him?
Man, let me tell you
That
something.
was your
Carlos
choice. This
Santana.
was this was Coach Tony's choice. Was
Yeah,
Carlos
it's my
Santana.
choice. So to go back, you're talking about the Godfather. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, you're talking about the Godfather of Latino music, Carlos Santana. Got to start with a band by the name of Blackbird Band back in 1966, pal. And then transcended that band into what we know as Carlos Santana, the soloist artist. He's a 10-time Grammy winner. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that they put him in, and he became the first Hispanic of any to go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's the top 25 guitarist of all times, no matter what
Mm.
genre you're in. And then to make it so bad, he's on our very own California A Hollywood Walk of Fame. This man is a legend. And in 2021, they made sure they immortalized him by he got what they call the HHF Award, or the Hispanic Heritage Foundation Award, one of the biggest awards you can get in the world, and Carlos Santana was one to have.
Right. So I have to say that a 10-time Grammy winner, Carlos Santana started the group Santana in 1966. So that's a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, recently, he's 77 years old. Do you know he is of Mexican descent and he is still actively touring? Did you know that?
Yep. I just saw
Hmm.
that.
Yeah,
And it's
and
amazing.
he,
Amazing.
he's just recovering from back surgery, and so he is going to be starting back up. I think October 30th in Las Vegas. He'll
Wow.
be back at the House of Blues in Las Vegas. So I can't believe he's still touring. But then again, when you hear his music and hear, you know, he anyway,
Hey,
there's just so much music that's come
yes.
from Carlos Santana and the group Santana. So I just say that it's been a real honor to have him to just do what he does. I think he recently celebrated the 25th anniversary of his hit album Supernatural,
Yep.
and that gave us the song you were My Life, just to
Right.
forget about it. Dun, 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 dun. I can't think of the name of that song. So smooth, so cool, so smooth. Somebody come up with the title. I
And then the
totally
crazy
forgot the
part about
title
it is
of
that
that. Oh my gosh.
when he goes out on concert, Val, the man
Mhm,
really doesn't need like an opening act. He is his own
mhm.
opening act.
Yeah. And he's worked with the likes of Wyclef John, uh,
Yep.
the laundry list of people that he's worked with. Tito Puentes, It's
Yes.
it's just it's just it's it goes and grows. And also he did a lot of studio musician work. A lot of people don't know that as well, where you're just, all you're doing is playing guitar. You might jump up on being the lead guitar, but he's an excellent studio musician. And in 1969 at the, what was this called? What was the big concert that was in 1969? Woodstock. That's
What's that?
where they premiered a lot of their music as Santana. This is from my
Exactly.
research. So
And 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 what was the next biggest band to play Woodstock that had a ridiculous crowd, and it was in Stockholm, Germany?
I don't know who was that.
That was none other than Queen.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for putting that in the chat. King Kevin, appreciate that. Now, a lot of
Bella, what's up,
people,
girl? How you doing? You gotta say what's up to Bella, Val. You know, she out there early on us tonight.
and of course, she's been celebrating her birthday this past week, so you can wish her a
Okay.
happy birthday,
Whoop,
Coach.
whoop, whoop, whoop. There you go.
Happy birthday
If
to her.
we
So that's
could, I would
cool.
throw a little Stevie Wonder on the happy birthday to you. You know, I'll bring it down. Let it
It's a
be broke.
happy, it's a happy birthday. Kate Del Castillo. Now, a lot of people are thinking, why about her? Why are you putting this person up here? How many people ever watched the soap opera All My Children? Do you all remember the lead actress Susan Lucy?
Yeah,
Do
no
you all
Susan,
remember her?
that was my girl,
Erica Kane.
Erica Kane. What?
Well, Kate is the Susan Lucy of telenovela. Oh gosh,
Telenovela. Novella.
novellas,
Right.
telenovelas. Thank you very much. I had to get that right. I had to get that right.
And
Hmm.
I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. What is one of the hottest series that we've been watching in this genre, Hispanic Latino, that hit the airwaves? What nuts that she starred in?
That she starred in.
Yep.
The cleaning lady.
Nope. Not talking about
Which
that one.
one? Okay,
This
which
was
one are
even
you talking about?
we talking about the Queen of the South, and she played in the original version that they came out with in Mexico, and that one was called La Reina del Sol, and she played Teresita or Teresa,
Oh,
the biggest drug carpin underneath their other, than the man back in the day. So that was her, and that's what
yeah,
kind of
she.
lifted her to stardom.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I didn't get to know Kate until, and this is something I wanted to share. She recently posted on her own Facebook that she received this from the Academy of Motion Picture and Sciences, having demonstrated exceptional accomplishment in the field of theatrical motion pictures. Um, on both sides of the border in Mexico, because she's of Mexican descent. She is around my age. She will be 52 in like a week or two. Her birthday is in October. She has been in over 100 television shows or films on either side. She does that
Right.
very, very well. And here's the thing about her. I
Two
didn't learn
followers.
about Kate until Bad Boys. I'm just gonna be
Oh yeah,
honest.
yeah. Come
I'm
on, Will
sorry.
Ed. Man, you got again, that was Will's ex on that, and she's been into several other movies that she's done. She's played in the gangster stuff. And like I said, I love the way that she's kind of come up through the ranks, and she's coming in good shape. She's in great shape.
Yeah, and the character that she plays in Lorena de Sur is Kate. It's Teresa Mendoza.
Yeah, Teresa
So
Mendoza. Yeah, so
she's
that's the
been
Queen of the South.
that's the Queen of the South. So that ran for 3 seasons in 2011. But she scared me in Bad Boys. She scared me. I was fearing for Will Smith's life.
Oh my God. Hey, the way he smacked Chris Rock, then I don't know. He should be doing something.
And for folks that watch The Cleaning Lady on Fox, she is currently on that season. I believe they made her a season regular now with the third season of The Cleaning Lady. But
How is that, Val? I never did. She plays like a kind of a special agent role in there, right?
I believe so, yeah. And I
Yeah.
like that they didn't stick with, because, over in Mexico, she plays roles where she's a killer
Right,
or she's a cartel leader or something like that.
right.
This she's doing something a little bit different with The Cleaning Lady, and I caught a couple of episodes with her in it, but like I said, she really impressed me with Bad Boys for Life, and I was like, who is this? And my brain, and when I talked to some people about her, they were like, Valerie, she's been acting a lot. She's been acting
Correct.
since
She's been
the late
balling.
80s, early 90s, but she's been acting. A lot of it is over in Mexico and
Yep.
Spanish language, strictly Spanish language. But she's
Hey,
phenomenal. So
can't
yeah,
have a better breakout than that. Than have a breakout in the USA, and you come truly bilingual.
exactly. And it is Bella's like, y'all, word, thank you. She's too funny. Oh my goodness. But yeah, oh yeah, there's a scene with her from the movie from Bad Boys. But yeah, so that's Kate. And like I said, I really enjoyed her in that. And of course, yeah, in 2024, she joined the cast of the Fox series The Cleaning Lady. So they're in their third season. So she became a series regular, which is huge. That's always a
And
big deal. Mhm.
what's amazing is Val, she hit the scene at a young age of 19. So she's got 30 deep in the
Mhm.
industry.
Yep, right. Exactly. Now, you know what? I just did a little research, but it's just because his last name is Spanish, Esposito, Juan Carlo Esposito. Do you know, of all of the people that we're highlighting, he is not of Hispanic descent?
Oh, really?
I said,
Uh,
wait, I can't yank
yeah,
him off the list.
I thought he is. I thought he was Spaniard, which is a little
You're
different than Mexican. Or I thought he was a Spaniard, Spanish.
He is 66 years young. His birthday is a couple of days after mine, April 26th. So I'm like real excited about that. And it's because he comes from Copenhagen, Denmark, and
Oh,
his background,
Italiano.
African American mom and Italian father. But they
Italiano, yeah.
always, because of his last name, always gave him roles that you would give Hispanic actors.
But
Isn't that weird?
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So you better,
But of
hey,
course, a lot of
you
us
better
got
keep
introduced to
your
Juan
mama
Carlos
last name.
in school days. Yep.
Yeah, Val, you know something? You ain't seen no porn. So no, what? I have
Oh my
pint,
gosh.
half
I,
pint. Hey, that was a scene right there, boy, right there. That was
oh
a
my
scene.
gosh. Lawrence Fishburne. I think, yeah, that's Tisha Campbell.
And
Yeah.
yes, she
So
showed all that hair on her head back there in the background. And if you really want to roll, you before you go to bugging out, you got to go G5G. That's what you want to be, G5G. Hey, come on, man, you got to let it rip because that's exactly what he was doing back in school days. He put Spike on the map with that, and all the black fraternities, HBCU, all
mhm.
that, big
Do
time.
the right
With that
Do
movie.
the Right Thing has gotten the distinction from the Academy as one of the no, not the Academy, the American Film Institute as the one of the top 100 films of all time. Do the Right
Man,
Thing.
so
Yeah, and
so the question I'm gonna ask for those that know that's in that
mhm.
genre, what is the best part of Do the Right Thing with bugging out in it? What's your best scene? What's your best scene with him in it, Val?
When he goes to Saul's, he
Okay,
said, "What?
sad,
How come there's no brothers on the wall?" That's what,
right. Ain't no brother on the wall of this. You need to get some more brothers on the wall and give me some more mozzarella on that piece of Sal. But the best one to me that end
Mhm.
up being, and of all things, the Tribe Called Quest video, and the name of the
Mhm.
song, Bugging Out, after Bugging Out, was when the white cat came down the sidewalk with the Boston Celtics jersey on and stepped on his Jordan with the bicycle. He was like, I
Oh,
mean, I could
yeah.
kill you 2 times.
Here's the
I'm telling
question,
you.
and thank you so much for putting that in the chat. I see Mr. Springer has gone ahead and placed it in the chat. What's the best scene from Do the Right Thing? And then, of course, what are the 4 films that Giancarlo has done with Spike Lee? Now,
Well,
we've just now done 2. This is Mo Better Blues. That's number 3. What's the
right.
4th one?
Well,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go back and answer that question first that you asked in the
Okay.
first. I
Mhm.
like the Do the Right Thing at the end. And the only reason why, because the movie that you're showing right now, my sister was in both. My sister was in Mo Better Blues, and my sister was in Do the Right Thing. And I
Okay.
loved it because she was at the end, right, standing with Spike when he threw the chair through the window, because everything came to a halt. But the funniest scene was when my boy Robin Harris and all the comedians was on the sidewalk talking about gentrification in a
Mhm.
comedic way, and how everyone was taking over the neighborhoods except the blacks, and how we were keeping the neighborhoods up because we were the one that was spending money, whether it's at the liquor store, whether it was at the Hispanic guy, whether it was over at the Korean place, whether it was going to Sal's, the Italian guy. Everywhere was doing something in the neighborhood except anyone of a minority descent. And that's how everything exploded on the block. You even had dirty cops back in that time. We're talking about 1989, and the cops were still beating down the brothers.
Wow, that's not good. That actually is not that great. I hate that it's like that. But Mo Better Blues was one of my favorites. He played one of the musicians with this, and Denzel was a lead
Exactly.
actor in this.
Yeah,
But the 4th film that a lot of people don't know that he did with Spike Lee is Malcolm X. He played
correct.
one of the people that actually took out the or that shot at Malcolm X
Which was
at the
Denzel.
which was, right, which was Denzel again. So there you go. But this was a recent picture of both Esposito and Spike together. And like I said, one of the series that he is recently known for is The Gentleman. I just finished watching that. April from our April Wheaton White, she was like, Val, you got to see the series, A Gentleman. And he plays this very wealthy, well-spoken and kind of person that's like a buyer, and he's able to get these things. And so really good series with him in it. And of course, you know him from the other series that what was not that's not Better Call Sal. What was the name of the
Yeah, yeah,
film?
yeah. So
Name of the series?
I like three other things that he was in, because I really didn't
Mhm.
watch the other two. That was pretty cool. But the big one for me was he was playing alongside Forrest Whitaker in Godfather of Harlem. Oh my God.
Godfather Harlem. I heard about
Hey,
that
if
one. I heard
you ain't
about that
seen
one.
Godfather of Harlem, you need to check that out, because that's crazy. And then,
Mhm.
like you said, Better Call Sal. But my other one, which you have seen, which was a play on twist, was Dear White People. A lot of people don't remember he was in Dear
Oh
White
yes,
People.
he was the what he was the voice, he was the voice background. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was.
Ah,
He was. Yeah. So
narrator.
he
He was
was.
a narrator. That's it.
Yeah, he was. He was wilding and all that stuff. So yeah, that was. So he's had
Yeah.
a, what I consider a luxury career. He's had great movies. There's some people that have the movie that you're like, yeah. He's had great movies, great TV series, real good. I think he's done a heck of a good job, in his career. And even when he just jumped to just basic mainstream TV on CBS or NBC.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, he has a very, very diverse what do you call it? I want to call it very diverse background. Um Before we get to Sheila E, I want to make sure that I bring this young man up because he recently just did and wrote a book. Let me make sure I get the name right. Uh, why am I
Wilmer
not Wilmer
Valderrama.
Valderrama?
Yes.
Valderrama. Yeah, Wilmer Valderrama. That 70s show. I don't know if you all remember him from that 70s show. And I think that was one of the first roles that he had. This was him back in 1998, looking very, very corny. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. So that 70s show spun off a lot of actors.
Yep.
There was Ashton Kutcher.
Love it.
There's a yeah, a bunch of folks that's there. But like I said, I guess he had like the accent and everything of Venezuelan descent. He is from his parents and stuff is from Venezuela, but he ended up getting a role. He ended up doing a lot of stuff he did a lot of stuff on television.
Yep.
He ended up doing NCIS that literally premiered. I forgot what season they're in right now, but that just premiered on CBS yesterday. And
Yeah.
so he was being interviewed, and they said they're going to now give him a partner, a love interest. And I'm thinking,
Oh,
why does
wow.
it take so long for the Black and Latino actors for them to
Right.
have a love interest on?
Yeah, because all three of them, Small Boy took him forever. LL Cool J just barely got one at the end, and now your man's in there. So I don't know what's up. I guess they
I
put
don't
us on the show thing. They put us on the show thing. We just want to work our ass off. We ain't gonna do nothing else. Just let them work.
But the great thing, Wilmer, he has a book called The American Story. Everyone's Invited. And right now he's been promoting this is a memoir. I didn't know
Oh,
that he was an activist and has been definitely fighting for the border and kind of because he states that he's an immigrant. I didn't know that. I thought I had another
wow.
picture of him, but he has been touring and promoting this book, and he stated that this is like a love letter to
Himself?
America.
Oh, to him.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
but to America, because there was just a lot of a lot of challenges that he overcame. He did not know the language when he first moved here. That was one of the
Wow.
other things.
Sure.
And of course, right after being in school, he decided to get into acting. I think, is he married? No, he is engaged, and I think his fiance just had a what do you call this, a baby. I was checking out his what do you call this, his Instagram and his book right now because of his popularity on NCIS. The poster of his book is in Times Square, which for
Oh, wow.
anyone that's in entertainment, that is
Huge.
huge.
Yeah,
And then there was a recent
you put me up on 42nd Street. Yeah, it's huge.
that's huge. So, but he's very proud of the work he's done. He says, I think this was a recent post from him from his Instagram. I thank everyone who's read my story. I'm just so humbled you would. I'm reading all of your messages. And if you feel so inclined to share your reviews on any platform you brought, I would appreciate it. Again, forever grateful. So I'm curious to read his book and his memoir to find out about all that he's gone through. And like I said, it's a transformation. I saw him in that 70s show, but in NCIS, he's kind of like, a heartthrob. So
Yeah.
congratulations to him. And definitely with that, we're going to get back. We're going to take a break real quick. And of course, we're going to get right into Sheila E. I gotta arrange some things to make sure that I do it, but we'll get to that we'll get back to it in a couple of seconds. Here we go.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the Key Spot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAT. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. KeySpot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. KeySpot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Oh my goodness. So anyway, if you had a favorite song from Sheila E., what would that be? I'm just curious. I'm just asking you this question, Coach. Let me know what would be your favorite song from Sheila E.
You mean talking about coach? So you asking coach that? You
I'm
asking
asking
me
the coach. What's your
that?
favorite? I
Oh,
know
my
you got a
girl,
favorite.
my girl right there, Miss Gorgeous, Miss Sheila, Miss E. Oh my goodness. She doesn't have a bad song with me, Val, but the one
Okay.
that I could drop in a house party, I could drop in a backyard, I can drop on every set, and it don't matter. We all got enough. We all want a love bazaar. That beat, when Prince dropped that beat, that love bazaar, and with Prince in the background singing it, oh my goodness. Especially the extended versions. If you're not up on a love bazaar, I advise you to listen to it tonight.
Oh my gosh. Sheila
1984.
Sheila Cecilia Escovedo. That's the
Yes,
last name. And she's better known as Sheila E. I didn't know this. She started her career not with Prince,
correct.
but
She started with
in the mid
Man's Man,
1970s as a percussionist for the
George
George Duke
Duke.
band.
Yeah, yeah.
Had no
And
clue.
the funny part about it was she stuck with George for about 13 years. She didn't break away until 1983 when she started to build a
Mhm.
relationship. Prince actually came and seen her in concert in 77. And if you remember Prince's 77, if I'm correct, that should be right after the Uptown album. Right? We're
Mhm.
going uptown. Everybody see uptown. Set your mind free. Yeah, you're gonna take me back tonight, Val. So we ended up doing that. Prince built that relationship with her, and then all of a sudden he helped her drop the original album, which was The Glamorous Life, which is the first main cut she had before she dropped Love Was Our Second. But The Glamorous Life, everyone knows that it was more of a dance type hit, and it was dope.
Yeah, and with the backstory, and she's told this a couple of times, is that Prince, before anyone knew who he was, stayed with her and her family while he was in the process of recording his first album. They were friends for a long time, and just about all of the family members of Sheila, her mom, her dad, her brother, they are all musicians or singers in
Yep.
music. So, um,
Well, then she
so
gets it, like you said, she gets all that because if we want to go way back to when she was a kid, her uncle Javier
mhm.
Escovedo had a band called the Zeros, right? And they moved from L.A.
Ah,
So they got an L.A. connection, and he's playing all the bands down between Compton, L.A. and that area. Dad had another band as he started to do it, and then Sheila, she got into music, as she was saying, because she was what's called a tag along. It wasn't no let's go to the babysitter, let's go you with me. So obviously being with me every day, you're gonna pick up some of my habits. And if I'm a musician, you're gonna pick up an instrument.
exactly, exactly. And I ended up finding this picture of her when she was playing with George Duke, and this was back in the 70s. So that's her. They misspelled her name, she stated.
Ooh,
She was like, spell my name.
hey,
So that's Sheila when she was real young,
hey,
like
that's what
just
she was really
starting
getting right.
out. Did you know that Sheila E was also a podcaster during the pandemic?
I didn't know that you and I got to talking. And I need to jump on her show with my man's in there.
And of course, one of the first films that she did and acted in was
But
Crush Groove.
groove moving, body moving.
One of the people that she interviewed for her podcast was her co-star in this, Blair Underwood. This was
That's
Blair
right.
Underwood's very first film.
That's right. And then after that, he went to Fame.
He did Fame, the
Wasn't he
TV
in Fame?
show.
Wasn't he
No,
in
that
Fame?
wasn't him.
Oh, that's
Now, a
right.
couple of years
I'm thinking
later,
about. I'm thinking about Leroy. Yeah, I thought he. That's
no,
right.
no,
That's right.
not him.
Right, right.
You are hilarious. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Wait, so you got Run DMC, Curtis Blow,
Man,
Fat Boys,
everybody.
and and then you got Sheila E in the front, and
Man. And then you got
so
Blair Underwood. He the only freaking person up in there ain't got a something that's musical in his hands. He's the only one.
so the interview that Sheila E did with Blair Underwood, the jacket she's wearing, she still has. She actually showed it in the interview, which was hilarious. And she said that they didn't have a budget. Michael Schultz, that's it. Michael Schultz didn't have a real big budget for Crush Groove. This was one of his first films. And so she ended up just the design. She was, actively, she just started doing, what was that? The Glamorous Life. And
That was
she
life,
said
right?
her and her band, they were wearing the clothes that Prince's, seamstress and those guys made. So she said she just brought that with her. She said we'll bring our own, clothing to the set. And I was like, what?
And just think, she's at the same time that she's making a name for herself and competing against Apollonia 6. For those that don't know Apollonia 6, you better Google that one as well, right? And so
Right.
she's trying to compete against Apollonia 6, and then all of a sudden, in 84, 85, when the Glamorous Lights come out, what else comes out that just moves her entire career forward? Purple Rain. And then it just boom, extended her all the way.
Right. And I'm good gracious. I'm looking for the other. Oh, there it is. That's the one I wanted to find. So remember, there was a show that we reviewed, The Greatest Night of All Time. This was the documentary that was on Netflix. We talked about this.
Yep, we talked about
So
that.
Sheila E. they interviewed her, but what we found out, something that me and you did not know, was that the organizers of this, and this was Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, there was a few other people Quincy Jones, they invited her, but they honestly wanted to kind of get to Prince. And she stated how she felt used.
Yeah.
They invited her on because she thought she was going to get a singing, like a solo part, but that she never got the solo part. But this is a picture of her. Who's else? This is, oh gosh, so there are legends in this shot.
Ray
So
Charles
this is Smokey Robinson.
Smokey. Ray Charles is sitting there. Smokey's sitting there. I mean, you got some.
That's
some
the Pointer
legends
Sisters in the back. Harry Belafonte's head's kind of peeking out above June Pointer's head. Marlon Jackson, and yeah.
And here's the funny part about it, Val. As she was on her way to stardom, just listen to some of the people that she's, besides Lionel and Smokey. She's played with George Duke, as you mentioned a moment ago. She's had a chance to play with Marvin Gaye. And then one of my favorite, when I got into a lot of house music, and Herbie Hancock and Rocket, zip, 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 right? Hey, Rocket was the jam, and Herbie was on his beat. And then, which I showed you the album the other night, that Diana Ross album, 1984, 85, Diana Ross, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And so she's worked with them, and because of that good work, man, Val, it's got her an opportunity that she's got top 100 on the Billboard. She's got 2 Grammys. And back when we were doing things with MTV, she's got 3 MTV awards, which is stunning.
Oh, but the great, now this is a recent picture of her and her father. What I've learned, and this
Both
is what
still looking good.
I pretty much stalk Sheila on her Instagram. Her Instagram is popping. I don't know who's handling it for her, but it's fun. But you can tell that her and her family are extremely close. When she did her podcast, guess who her first guest was? Her mom and her dad.
Yeah,
Dad, right?
Sure. Because without mom and dad on that show, and she's in the music, And that means probably her Uncle Javier's not around because he was a little bigger musician than her dad.
Mhm.
He may have passed away. But yeah, come on, that's who paved the way and opened the doors. Again, Val, you hang out with me, you're going to do something I'm doing.
And of course, a lot of folks associate and know Sheila E. with her work with Prince. Prince encouraged her to step from behind the drums to sing. She said she was very content with just playing drums and being in the background. But Prince is the one that said, no, you should sing and perform. So he wrote and produced that whole album, Glamorous Life. But what I realized toward the end of Prince's life, when he was touring, he would tour with Pacific musicians. And I'm trying to think of the bassist. I can't think of the bassist name right now, but it was like a very tight musicians. And Sheila E. was one of the few musicians that he would tour with, because it's like you pull together the people that you have a long relationship with, friendship with. And she said she never wanted to get involved with Prince because, she knew him back, when no one knew who they were.
Yeah, and they went to the trenches together.
Exactly. And I think it was, and here's the thing, he respected Sheila as a musician. I know that. I 110% know that. And when you watch,
let me ask you a question then.
What's that?
Let me ask you a question. So what was the first song that Prince allowed Sheila E. to jump on, help him produce, that ended up being a smash hit?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. It wasn't a song for her. It was a song for him. Is that correct?
Song for Prince. Yep.
Was this Erotic City?
Yep. Erotic City.
Yeah.
Erotic City. Right after that, again, with all that 84. So she jumped, and that's when he gave her the first time. She jumped out of all the songs, and she did that drum soloist. She, it was in concert. And she did that. Erotic City was ridiculous. And from that, and like you said, with Prince moving on to the afterworld, he talked about the afterworld. Sheila E. is now has been putting together something called COED, COED, where she's been doing all the Prince and Sheila E. performances and performing different songs from various albums. But funny story. So my uncle, back in the day, football player, pro guy, other ones around, they were in Minnesota back and forth, and told me a story one day about the Prince, and said that when they were in Minnesota and they would go out to clubs and they would come back, and he would come to Grand Station, at the Grand Slam, rather. He would come in to there, and sometime, Val, it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. And he would walk in to the bar when the bar is getting ready to close at 2 or 3, and then he would pick out certain people and point at them, and those people, or those particular people, would be the ones that would get an opportunity to stay. And then Prince would jam sometime at 5, 6, 7 in the morning, and then invite the people back to his house and finish up a concert, to which people probably passed out to 2 or 3 in the afternoon, get up and do it all over again. Can you imagine that?
And that's been the joy of a lot of people that love the career and love the music of Prince. These are the Espositos. This is I'm not Esposito. I have to look at her name again. This is her parents. These are her parents. She said mom and pops from her podcast. And this is Instagram. Her handle is Sheila E. Drummer. That's her. That's her.
I'll do some stuff. Hopefully you watching tonight, Sheila, because I tag you on all my Twitter, on X tonight. So hopefully you on it. Love everything you're doing. Love to get you on the show one night. And it was right, Val. Last name is Escovedo. So
Escovedo. That's correct.
Yeah,
Escovedo.
And
I need to
Prince
mention
respected
this
us so much and got it Under the Cherry Moon. That was another thing. Under the Cherry Moon was huge because it then gave her another TV role. A lot of people don't know about that.
Under the Cherry Moon was a movie. She was
Right.
in. Was she a part of the band with them or no?
Yeah, she's a part of the music section with Under the Cherry Moon and some of the
She
organizing.
was.
She helped organize some of the music for the Under the Cherry Moon on that. No, of course, Prince gonna be Prince himself, at least from what I was researching and read about.
Oh, okay. All right. I want to make sure that I get her name right. She's pictured in here. Um Sheila E and Kat, I can't think of her last name. And this is who is this? April told me about her, and April knows her. Kat unfortunately passed away last month.
Oh, wow.
She was in her early 60s, but she was a dancer and choreographer, one of the main dancers from the Sign of the Times. I gotta get her last name.
Sign of the time,
Sign of the Times. Do you remember
of
that?
the time. Doom, 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 doom. Come on now, time. That was a jam.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of her name. I'm trying to bring it up real quick because Kat Glover. Thank you. Good Lord, that was going to bother me. So she was 62 years young, and Glover was born in Chicago.
Oh, shot time.
She's from Chicago, and she got her big break on Star Search and was noticed by Prince, who offered her a spot in the band. And she left the band in '89, unfortunately, after a disagreement with Prince, and she released her debut solo album, Catwoman, later that year. But you remember, what was the song? You Got the Look.
You got that. Well, I like Wendy. Wendy was the other person in the band. I really love Wendy because Wendy actually, a lot of people don't know, Wendy actually wrote Purple Rain.
Yeah, Wendy. Yeah, and Lisa and Wendy. I don't want to get off in this direction, but Lisa and Wendy are currently still doing. They score television shows, which is really, really good. But I wanted to make sure that I talked about Kat Glover because she passed away and I didn't know about it until April blew up my phone and was like, Val, did you know Kat Glover? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Sheila E. has been very active with releasing new music. And so a lot of artists, especially if they're independent artists and if they've been nominated for a Grammy or a part of the Grammy, world, for your consideration. This is on her Instagram. So she wants to be nominated for Best Tropicana Latin Album, Bela, Album of the Year, Best Engineered Album, Non-Classical, Record of the Year. And she said this is one of her first times that she's recorded a pure, Spanish language album. So there's no English whatsoever. One of her singles that she released with Gloria Estefan and a few others. But what she's done now, she's doing new music with the E-Train. This is her band, and they're going to be here in Chicago, I think, next month. So I'm looking forward to seeing her perform live. But, Sheila's not letting nothing stop her.
Good. She looks like, hey, I'm on the E-Train. That's like that. Now that ain't the same as the midnight train to Georgia.
No, it's not. And of course, she was recently with the American Music Awards, performing just drums with Chaka Khan. And of course, what is the song that Prince wrote that Chaka Khan performed? You remember the name of that song?
Ooh, that's good.
I feel for you.
Oh, I was singing that in my head. I think I love you. I was just singing it in my. And that's a Chaka Khan. Hey, I can loop that back, man. Man, please, what? Man, that was amazing. And before we shut Sheila down, I just want to give another shout out. I'm so glad you talked about Gloria Estefan because Common, everybody, she has an amazing story, and she almost passed a few years ago with cancer and was able to beat that. And I just listened to her story, and what Gloria's doing is amazing. And then she didn't think she was able to come back and do the stuff she was able to do, which is completely amazing. And then we can't forget about the youngest one, who seems to never get older than 21 years old, in J-Lo. J-Lo is like, ooh, we. So I just want to make sure we send two big shouts out to Gloria and to J-Lo, because I love them and what they stood for in the in the Hispanic heritage as well.
Yeah. So like I said, I am putting it out there that we are going to interview Shelia E. We're just putting it out there because I'm a fan. If there was, if I was to say I had a girl crush on anybody, I had a girl crush on Jodie Watley, and I definitely have a girl crush on Shelia E.
Wow.
I had a crush on her brother that performed with her back, Glamorous Life and Love Bizarre. I'm like, who is that in the background with the hair? And she's like, oh, it's my brother. I'm like, oh, you got a cute brother. Yeah, I just wanted to be in the band.
She just if we get Shelia E on there, I'm just gonna come up on here with some tape on my mouth, because I'm telling you right now, man, what? Man,
oh my gosh, and that's her with Shaka Khan. All I see is legs.
Yeah, they still looking good. They still looking good. They doing their thing right now. You know what I'm saying? You can never tell me I ain't seeing a day older than 40. Period. So I'm just saying. But
that's what I'm saying.
It's so good, Val, that what I want to say in all seriousness is so great that here you got, over what's that, 40 years of just solid music coming from a female percussionist who, in my opinion, got her just due, but never really got her just due, if that means something. We've done the music awards for Prince. We've done the music awards for Michael Jackson. Even gave freaking Diddy a music award thing a while back. I would love to see BET Music Awards do a dedication to Shelia E. The hard part about that, I don't know if you know who this young lady is. There's a young girl, I forgot her name. She's like 12, 13 years old. She's a guitarist, drummer from New York. The problem would be trying to find someone who could physically play the percussions and the drums and the bongos like Shelia to do the celebration. You know what I mean?
Right. And I don't know if anybody could play drums like her, but like I said, it's something that I am a huge fan of, and like I said, her E-Train band that she's on tour with, diverse, talented, and full of energy. They got to work. They got to wake up and take their Wheaties to keep up with her.
Man,
not the other way around. They got to keep up with her.
You know what I would love to see in concert with her?
Who?
Man, if she came to town with Bruno Mars.
Ooh, that would be fun. Oh, that would be fun.
Nobody else. Bruno Mars open up for Shelia E. And Bruno, oh my goodness. And then go there and they do something like smoking out the window. Man.
Oh, but it would be good if it was Bruno along with Anderson .Paak. What was the name of the group?
When I said Bruno, Val, Anderson .Paak with him. Anderson .Paak come with Bruno like a back pocket.
Yeah, but what's the name of the group that Silk Sonic?
Yeah, Silk Sonic. But I'm just saying he's coming with, and when Bruno Mars roll, Anderson .Paak comes with him like a pair of Levi's in a pocket. It's already stitched up. You know what I mean?
I see a drum battle going between Anderson .Paak and Shelia E.
And that's why I said that. That's exactly why I was saying that, because I thought that would be a hell of a good, because you got him on stage, and at the end, I mean, picture this, right? The United Center, packed out. It's already the Madhouse on Madison. Shelia E's in town, because I don't think UIC will be big enough, right? So we're going to pack the UC in, and we're going to have Bruno, Anderson .Paak, and they come up and sing "Smoking Out the Window" or one of their cuts where they let Anderson .Paak do a solo hit at the end of the show. Exactly. And then there's another set of drums, and Sheila walks out and they have a drum percussion battle, and then the curtains drop and go into Sheila's set. Man, what? I better call somebody because I need to get paid for that idea. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I need to figure out how to promote that.
Mark Lee is saying, I still have a crush on Sheila E.
Hey, you gonna get in line, Mark. You behind me, man. Get your hand stamped like you're going in a nightclub. Put your wrist out there, get your stamp. Because I'm telling you.
He's got a crush on Sheila E. Oh my goodness. Well, I
don't
hope that
I can really think of coming through our age and that time, Val. I can't really think of a female artist that really move you like Sheila E. You know, again, Gloria Estefan, I loved her because she brought that Congo music. She brought that energy. She was boom, 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 but she was a performer. Sheila E. was like, I don't even need to say a word out of my mouth. I can jump on these instruments and make a show happen.
Very much so. Very much
Kevin
so.
said Sade. You're right. Springer said Sade. Sade was cold too. But again, Springer, she was a singer. I ain't see her banging on no bongos, man.
Well, that was not her lane. And you know, it's all about doing what you are extremely comfortable in doing. And of course, I see Kevin said this, but here's the thing. Mark just asked, did you see Sheila E.'s Tiny Desk concert?
That was ridiculous.
Picture I pulled. I have it in here and I don't know where it is.
Did
you see the Tiny Desk?
Oh, yeah. And was Spring, I gotta give Springer, Sade's Tiny Desk performance was off the charts too. But Sheila E. I love Sheila E. because in that Tiny Desk set, you don't get to put a lot of instruments in to see her performing. Oh man, that was awesome. That was really awesome.
Yeah. And I am looking, I remember grabbing a picture from the Tiny Desk concert, and for some reason
he got an opportunity to see Sheila E. perform Lionel Richie back in the 80s. Man, that had to be. I'd love to talk to you about that, Mark. That was kind of dope. Where was that at?
I know. That would have been great to be able to see that. And
Lionel at that time, that was a young Lionel when he just came up out the Commodores. He still had a blow fight. You know what I'm saying? He had the big collar with the fro, and he was still talking about easy like Sunday morning. He was coming up out of that. Yeah,
I know that. So
he's tall in the A. Okay.
That picture to the right, but it's to the left on the screen. There's a wonderful place here in Chicago and a bunch of other places called the City Winery.
Oh yeah,
so
City Winery. They're growing.
They were in Atlanta October 16th through. Wait, is that coming up? No, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, October 16th. Hey, you need to check the City Winery in Nashville and let me know if they coming here. We got a City Winery. Right.
So I know they're coming here to Chicago. That's not until November. But right there, so that's they're going to be in Atlanta.
If they coming from the A, and tomorrow ain't no way in the world she gonna miss Nashville. I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's a talented group of young people. But I'm telling you, this has been a fun. I want to call it National Hispanic Heritage Month, just kind of celebrating it and actually highlighting just a few of the entertainers and performers that we like. There's a whole laundry list of more people that we could talk about. I wanted to talk about.
Speaking of that,
Gina Torres. I'm missing a whole bunch of folks.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And speaking of that, and getting on, and I'm hoping he's listening tonight. I got an opportunity to connect with one of the new latest on the gospel side of the house, Hispanic singer, and Christian Flores, brothers out of Austin, Texas. So we connected today, and he and I talk. So make sure you continue to check out us right here on what? Interludes Talk on Tuesday. and we can get Christian on air, man, maybe we can get him to talk about some stories. Maybe he got an opportunity to bump into a few of these people we're talking about. So I'm going to continue to communicate, see if I can get him on here coming up soon.
Yeah, that would really be fun. Mondays is what we have, what it's called the Pull Up Podcast Show. We got Coach Tony in the building. Of course, you know what's coming up for next week, brother. I don't know. I just thought I'd ask that.
Man, pulling up on me on Monday. I'm working on a guest right now, but if not, I think I may be coming back where I'm getting a lot of people ask me, Coach, I just need you to do an NBA breakdown because the NBA season starts the following week. So I may be dedicating that show to just a straight NBA breakdown, talk about East Conference, talk about what's going on, college and NBA. So that Monday night may be a basketball night. So Mark, you make sure you show up because I want to hear what you got to say already. You know what I'm saying?
So make sure that you pull up on the Pull Up Podcast Show. We have definitely had some great guests, but of course, the information that Coach gives us, I have become better educated because of the
and
knowledge.
You did a great job. Last night, we had a wonderful job. For those, I'm telling you, if I just could say real quickly, I've had a lot of great guests. I've had a lot of phenomenal guests. And I'm going to continue to have more and more because I'm getting people that starting to reach out. I'm also working on Bill Cartwright for those that are NBA greats, Bulls. I'm loving him. But last night, close dear friend of mine and Coach Bobby Jackson was the first time that on the podcast and the entire time that I finally got somebody to talk about the mental mindset of the athlete in terms of high school development and where they need to go and where we need to be as parents, where we need to be as guardians. And if this is your child trying to go to the next level, he straight broke down reality. So I don't want you crying. I don't want you pouting. I want you to make sure that this kid, boy or girl, is prepared to go to the next level because the way things are changing now, there's a lot of mental illness that are going on because the mindset is wrapped around, Val, making so much money, and when these kids don't make it, some of them boys and girls go crazy. And he talked about it. So if you did get a chance to look at it, go back in the archive and pull up last night's show on the Pull Up Podcast Show with me and Coach Bobby Jackson.
Right. And Bobby Jackson he really did a great job. And what's hilarious is the things that you don't see. That conversation continued between the coaches for about an hour after we ended the stream. So I was sitting here going, okay, amazing. So they still talking. Okay.
But when it's good to you, Val, it's like the song, is it good to you? I like it. Man, come on. What? I love hanging out with you. And of course, the DJ saved my life, my girl, Val, the voice. If you guys haven't scanned this QR code once, you better scan it now. If you have, scan it again and share it with your people where she talks about how being a DJ and doing the world of podcasting saved her life. That's how we right here tonight, baby.
You do such a great promo. I appreciate all of that, which is really wonderful and phenomenal. And of course, join our community on patreon.com/interludes if you want to start your own podcast and do your own thing. And like I said, Coach Bobby Jackson really liked what we did with the Pull Up Podcast Show, and it's the same work and with more research that happens here with Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesdays. But like I said, next week we'll be back in the saddle doing what we do best. And of course, we just have a blast. So congratulations to Mr. Springer for graduating with a master's. We're proud of him, of course. And yes, that's right. And like I said, we'll be back on next week. So of course, Coach, what you got? What we always say?
Hey, don't meet me, beat me, but peace.
Peace.